Podcasts, online radio shows, and recurring videocasts. These are all great ways to promote your business, and in the virtual industry, part of promoting your website business is getting in front of as many people as possible. So give them something interesting to read, something to listen to or watch that's going to direct them to your website, and hoping they can use your services. So what is a podcast? A podcast is a multimedia tool that people can follow. It's an audio or video full of information that you can listen to, view on your computer, listen on your iPod, or any other multimedia enabled device. So with a podcast, you can create your own talk show, promote your product or service, be recognized as an expert in your field, or even in your hobby. So by creating a podcast, you can build your own list of customers or your own fan base, and there are many possibilities that you can do with a podcast. And you don't have to be a radio personality or a musician to get out your content. It's like having your own radio show on your website. Podcasts can be syndicated using RSS, which means really simple syndication. This is the same process that people use to keep up with blogs and websites. The RSS feed allows the person to receive updates when changes are made on your recordings or your podcasts on the site, so they don't have to visit your site every day. In creating a podcast, there is software available to help you create your audio and video files. Now, you can begin creating your podcast easy with software that may even be included on your own computer. For example, on my computer, I have an accessory that is called Sound Recorder, which allows me to record anything in audio, save it in a recording that I can then attach to a presentation or video, just like this one. My MP3 player also allows me to record, and then I can upload it onto my computer and share it with others as well. You can also embed a code for your recording on your website so others can view them as well. Beyond the technical aspects, the purpose of a podcast is to present interesting information to your readers in a new and unique way. People browse the internet every day to find useful items and information. They like to read, but would admittedly, like myself, like to watch or listen, as it is a more convenient way to get the same information. So what will make your podcast stand out? You want to use engaging dialogue, present relevant topics, and use visually appealing props and sets for your video casts. Going viral with your podcast means gaining popularity in a very short period of time. But don't forget the keywords. You want people to be able to find your podcast when they use their search engines. Even if you're using mainly audio, include keyword optimized titles, tags, and links in your podcast. Submit your podcast to directories. Use every avenue to get yourself in front of the public. That includes creating press releases to announce your podcast if you're introducing them for the first time. Optimizing your press releases and submitting them to free press release sites keeps people finding them even after you're through using them. As most people in business, finding the time it takes to not only create the podcast, but getting it visible to the public can be one of the main reasons that people may not utilize the value of a podcast. To get a great way to get your information out there, utilize the service of a virtual assistant, one who may specialize in this area or has knowledge and can create the information at hand to be used in the podcast. There are many ways you can increase your visibility by outsourcing and save your business overhead costs and your valuable time. Let your existing customers in on the new podcast. Use your email list to keep them in the loop as you enroll your podcast projects. Give them links directly to the podcast so they can view it and hopefully pass the link on to others. Your podcast can be turned into a radio show with regular guest spots as well. Interview other business owners in your niche and notable online personalities who would be of interest to your readers. A reoccurring show can increase your traffic and your following. You want people to get to your website. Create a podcast, turn it into a radio show or recurring videocast to create a following and gain more traffic to your business.